I'm in my 2017 Chevy Volt. If you ever get this message saying not able to charge, you press down the brake to start the engine, and then you can see it eventually shows up where it'll come alive, and I've got a battery charging and a stable track error message with the brake illuminated, the ABS, the traction control, and the check engine. And if you put the vehicle into reverse or in any neutral or drive, it's going to tell you that it has to go back to shift because it's just not able to work. It's battery charging system. So I'm going to walk you through how to change that, and what it is the battery's gone bad. Okay, now we're back here at the battery, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to test the battery with my multimeter. So I already hooked it up to the negative, and now I put it on the positive, and it's at 11.55 volts. Well, this thing should be between 12.4 and 12.7. So this is another indicator that this battery is bad. So okay, so the tools that we're going to need for this is we're going to need a 10 millimeter, which is going to take off the battery terminals. There's one on each side here. And then I've got a 13 millimeter with a couple of extensions to get this strap off. And then once we get this cover off, we're going to need the flathead screwdriver to pop off this other box. So just push in on either side, and this plastic cover will come off, and that lets you see these this fuse box here, which we're not going to touch any of that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take off the negative. So that's where the 10 millimeter comes into play. All right, that negative's coming off. All right, there we go. So the negative's off, so we don't have any power we need to worry about anymore. Okay, so now we're going to take the positive terminal off. Okay. Yep, that's loose. Now we need a flathead screwdriver, and this plastic is got a clip that's attached to the battery. So we'll take that side off, do the same on that side, and you can see that pops right off. Now what we need to do is just kind of move this out of the way, which is easier said than done because it's really tight in there, but we'll make it work. So we're going to take the 13 millimeter now, and I need to get my ratchet, and we'll take that off. Okay, that's off. Get that bolt out of there. Okay, and you can see that strap comes right off. Now, on this negative side, there might be a line, yeah, right here. It's hard to see that until I pull that out, but I don't want to break that. There it is. So you can see that line there for venting purposes. So now here's the handle in use, and I'm going to just see if I can kind of finagle this thing out of this tight space. Fix this block here, and I'll take that out too. Yeah, that is tight. Almost got it. Okay, folks, we're going to take that to AutoZone, get that thing replaced. Actually, one thing, I'd like to see if I can see a date on this thing. Okay, wanted to show you one thing here before we put the battery back in. As you recall, it was really tight. And what we've got here is these zip ties on 2 posts with this plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a screwdriver underneath there and just kind of pop that up. Now it's not going to be quite as tight when we put it all back together, but I'd rather have it to where it's a little bit easier to maneuver and manipulate when you're trying to get the battery out. That was just overly complicated. It shouldn't have been that tight. It's just everything is wired so tight. There. So see, now I can get that thing completely out of the way, slide the new battery in there, and then put it all back together. Okay, so we're back with the new battery, and I went ahead and asked the guy why I couldn't find a date on the old battery, and he said because it's from the factory. The AC Delco with the black top do not have a date on them. So this car is a 2017, so this is the original battery, and we're in July of 2025. So that is absolutely incredible that the battery lasted that long. Very surprised that it was able to last that long. So I went ahead and bought a new AGM Duralast battery from them that comes with a full 5-year warranty. The date is on the side, which is going to be totally hidden once this thing gets dropped back in there. So I just manually wrote this on here to kind of be a reminder for me or for whoever is. Okay, so you can see now I got a little bit more room here since we undid those clips. So we'll drop this battery down in here. Much simpler. Almost too easy. I'm going to see if I can get one of these clips to go back into place, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. But this should pop right down here. Yep, there that is. And those snapped into place. Yep, and I was able to get one of those clips back into place. Okay, so we're going to put this line in there. It's about in the middle. There it goes. Okay, we're going to put the negative back on, so take that cap off. And wiggle that down into place. And we got to start being careful because we got power back on here. All right, so I need to get my 10mm. And that's good. Okay, next up is going to be the strap. So this is that block. Goes in there to kind of help that battery from moving around. That hole lines up perfect. Okay, so we'll put the strap on. And I need to get my other bolt. Okay, swap this out for the 13mm on the extension. Okay, that's about tight. Alright, so that's done. And now, just need to put this cover back on. So again, those clips, just kind of hides all that. All right, that's in place too. Now, before we go any farther, we'll go ahead and try and start it and see how it goes. Okay, sitting in here. Sounds better. Turn the air conditioning off. And you can see now I have no more errors, other than just telling me that my trunk is closed. So that it looks a lot better. Before, I'm not sure if I pointed out, I had a battery here that was showing me bad, and then I had those 2 other messages, plus the ABS and the engine light was illuminated. So hopefully that helps you guys out.